The San Francisco sheriff is apologizing for allowing ICE agents to interview an inmate in jail earlier this month. Here's the statement. My staff made a mistake, and I have to hold myself accountable. I apologize on behalf of the department. I feel embarrassed by it. I've taken steps to make sure it never happens again. She also claims this is a deliberate effort by the feds to punch holes in the department's pro-illegal immigrant protocols. Former Sacramento Sheriff John McGinness joins us now. Sheriff, you heard all of this. You heard that the San Francisco sheriff is apologizing for letting feds interview someone in jail. I want your reaction, sir.
It's shocking, Stuart. Good morning. Thank you for having me, by the way. But it's absolutely shocking to think that we have evolved to this point, or devolved to this point, where there's a conflict between state and federal law. This is never intended to be the case. And, of course, the reality is, when it comes to immigration law, the federal government does hold supremacy. Very, very clearly covered in the Constitution in terms of where that conflict goes. So this has created, this whole challenge, the SB 54 in California, has created a very confusing set of circumstances for California law enforcement, in which they're being given conflicted information from the state versus the federal government. You know, you're a guy that's raised 6 kids, and you think about the idea of parents giving conflicting information to their children with a level of authority. So California law enforcement officers are desperately waiting for, searching for clarification on this.
Well, who wins? I mean, this is the classic standoff between President Trump and the administration, which says, look, we don't like this sanctuary city, sanctuary state policy. And the government, the authorities in California saying, we've got a sanctuary policy and we're not going to have ICE agents interfering with us. It's a standoff. Give me the end game here. Who wins and when?
Honestly, Stuart, I think it's a very, very good question, and the answer lies in the extent to which the public is informed as to the truth. There's a tremendous amount of hyperbole and false information being pushed forth about the immigration issue in California. Stories about law enforcement officers ripping children from their mother's arms to deport them to their country of origin. That's just simply not the case. I've got nearly 40 years in law enforcement. I've investigated everything from petty thefts to homicides. And never once have I asked a person their immigration status because, frankly, it doesn't matter to me. I understand that to be the sole purview of the federal government. That's the way the law works, and that should be respected.
Are we now in a situation where California authorities are protecting criminal illegals? They're not allowing ICE to talk to them, arrest them, take them away, and then those same criminals go out and commit crimes. Has that happened?
That is absolutely the case, Stuart. And in fact, despite what the governor has said in reaction to the lawsuit filed by Jeff Sessions, that is exactly what's taking place in California. I think the sheriff in San Francisco has affirmed that she has censured her staff for cooperating with the federal government, with ICE agents. So it's absolutely true. And I'll tell you something that takes it even to worse levels. When you're dealing with law enforcement officers as part of a government entity, that's one thing. But in the state of California right now, per SB 54, private employers, property owners who rent to tenants, are constrained by law from answering questions from federal agents. That seems to me to be just overtly violative of the First Amendment of the Constitution, to silence people and take away their prerogative to answer questions when they're asked by people with authority, no less.
Well said. John McGinness, former sheriff of Sacramento, I think it is. Thanks very much for being with us, sir. We do appreciate it. You can come back again soon.
Thank you, Stuart.
Yes, sir.
Will do.